Hey, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day, a blessed day, and getting 1% better than yesterday, and breaking free from anything that's holding you back from having the best day ever, and doing what you want to do within reason. And there's no reason why today can't be all of those things. They are for me. It's going pretty well. I got out there and I made $61 with Instacart and Walmart Spark this morning. I had a lot of fun making the last video where I reviewed the customers. I can't think of any crazy stories today, but it was kind of fun to do that. Things went fairly smooth today. I did end up making about $285 last week with Instacart and Walmart Spark. There's signups below if you want to make a few extra dollars. Today's topics are going to be Christmas magic and when you have to tell your kids about Santa. The next is going to be 7 tips to overcome laziness, something that I had to do on my break-free journey, that's for darn sure. And then finally, a quote from the great Stoic philosopher Epictetus about becoming invincible. And it was a quote I haven't seen too much, so I wanted to definitely do a deep dive into that. But let's get into the topic. So we bring down, it's Sunday, we're bringing down our Christmas decorations, everything but the tree. We usually do our tree Friday and Saturday after Thanksgiving, and then when I'm off on a Sunday, we'll decorate it together and play some Christmas music. Actually, I'm going to go upstairs and get an Andy Williams Christmas record, and I'm going to play it shortly. It has not sold yet. I feel like rocking out some tunes. So we're bringing this stuff down, and the kids are all excited. And they start screaming, Santa real, this and that. One of my friends saw something in their parents' closet, and the next day it was under the tree. Everything's from China. And my wife and I had talked about, not continuing to lie to the kids. And I go, if you want to tell them, tell them. And then she sent me a couple articles about what to say and this and that. And we sat them down, and I was ready for hysterics. I was ready for anger. I think I was more upset or more sad than they were. And probably my wife too. It was harder on us. They took it really well, I will say. I was even expecting maybe a delayed onset, how sometimes you can put on a brave face and, maybe cry about it at night or something. But I think they had a pretty good idea. But they definitely found out the truth yesterday. And they had a few funny statements. They asked who buys us presents. And we had to explain to them that we get each other some things. And then they asked the Easter Bunny too. And it was funny how it didn't all correlate, that Santa and Easter Bunny. They had to figure out the Easter Bunny too was not real. I couldn't bring up the Tooth Fairy. I couldn't get the words out of my mouth. They asked where our Easter Bunny suits and Santa suits are. That we put those on somehow. I don't know. They asked if we had the same eggs or if we got all different eggs for Easter. Maybe the plastic ones that we put the candy in and hide around the house. They asked who eats the reindeer food and how there's carrots or how there's teeth marks in the carrots. And Dad, I think, does that. And then they thought it might have been just me who was Santa, not a combo with my wife. So they took it well. They're secret keepers now. For the kids who don't know and the kids who are younger than them, the younger cousins. We've all been there. How was it when you told your kids about Santa? Or how was it when you found out? I think I took it a little bit harder. I think I'm more emotional, maybe less mature. I don't know. I think I remember sitting in the car being like, I'll never trust adults again. And I think I went upstairs and took a shower and just kind of was in the shower just thinking about the meaning of life at that point. But my kids took it a lot better than I did, and we moved on. So that's that. Christmas magic. I took a really good hard look at them to kind of sear it in my brain that moment when that change takes place. But we had a good run of 10 years, and there's still obviously a lot of Christmas magic out there. It's in your heart. We explained it's more about giving than getting, and how they can be the magic keepers for their younger cousins and classmates at school. The next topic I wanted to talk about was 7 tips to overcome laziness. JB Breaks Free had to break free from laziness, that is for sure. The first thing that really helped me was, number 1, having a purpose in life, finding your purpose in life. The reason that you wake up. I didn't have that reason for a long time. A lot of the time was just living for the weekend, living to go out, living to earn enough money to buy stuff to you know, get that little shot of dopamine. But finding your purpose in life, doing what you love, I think is a huge thing. I love waiting tables. I really do. And I love doing my Instacart and Walmart shops. I do it just about every day. I take Sunday off from both, and every other day I'm doing one or the other. Number two, do what you're good at. Waiting tables came somewhat naturally to me. I wasn't very good in the beginning, of course, but I got better at it. Same thing with Instacart, same thing with Walmart Spark. You get a little better shopping and you get a little faster. Reselling stuff I wasn't very good at, but I became better. My shipping would just be awful, and I'd get low star reviews and refunds, but you put in the time and you're going to get better at it. Do what the world needs. Is waiting tables what the world needs? I guess people like to go out to eat, right? And they like to have a good experience, and I think I help provide that for many people. It's a busy restaurant, so a lot of people in the world must want to experience that. And do what you can be paid for. I'm lucky to work at a restaurant where I make some good tips, and my side hustles pay fairly well too, and I've set up a lifestyle where I don't need much more. So I'm lucky to have that purpose in life, to get up every day and not dread it, but to actually do what I love. Number two, a big focus and mantra of this channel is to make small improvements, to get 1% better every day. We're not going to get a knockout punch and a grand slam and just accomplish everything in one quick blast. It's going to be very small improvements to your saving your money, to paying off your debt, to getting in shape, to getting a little better at what you're doing. 1% improvements will cure laziness. The third is going to be, I love this, to approach things from a beginner's mindset. A beginner's mindset is going to be open to everything. It's going to have so many possibilities. An expert are going to have few possibilities and maybe not be as open to much. I think of one of my hobbies was writing songs. And in the beginning, I think everything is so new. Maybe it's the same thing with poetry or whatever sort of hobby or creative thing that you're doing. If it's just all open, it's all there in front of you. Maybe having a beginner's mindset with Instacart and Spark. Anything can happen. That next order can be a great one. For waiting tables, have a sense of wonder every day. That this is just great, and be open to all possibilities. The fourth one is going to be stop eating when you're 80% full. How many times have you overeaten and then, especially with Thanksgiving coming up, of course that's a day where that could probably slide, but stop eating when you're 80% full. You're going to have much more energy. Number five, spend more time in nature. It's gonna perk you up. It's gonna wake you up. It's gonna make you feel alive. It's gonna get you going. Number six is instead of perfection, find beauty in imperfection. That is certainly the case for me. I do my best at waiting tables. I do my best at my side hustles. Mistakes are gonna happen with this vlog. It's tricky to get the right light, find the right things to say. Am I going to stumble on a word? Am I going to, do whatever anything is that could be considered imperfect? But that's okay. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Just get out there, learn while you're doing, make steady, rapid improvement. And number seven, be patient and do the best possible. Over time, your small improvements will compound. Hopefully you'll find something that you love doing. You'll have a beginner's mindset. You won't be too lazy from eating. You'll be patient, and you'll also be out there walking in nature, and that's going to boost you up, and that's going to help you break free from laziness. And the final topic of today is from the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, who says, "Who then is invincible? The one who cannot be upset by anything," underline the word anything, "outside of their reasoned choice." I would say that's pretty good. Now, of course, we can be upset with ourselves, perhaps for making some wrong choices. And that's when we learn from our mistakes, hopefully. But if we can be, how much better would your life be if you cannot be upset by anything outside of your control? Like how others treat you, other people's actions, other people's feelings, other people's beliefs, other people's thoughts, especially in today's day and age. I let that stuff roll right off my back. I could care less. The passing of time, the past, the future, we cannot control those things. The weather, I love to talk about that, does not matter. Every day is a beautiful day. Again, people's choices, I think about somebody who you care about, perhaps, and they continue to make the wrong choices when you talk to them, and I've certainly been that person for others. You can't control it. You can give your best input, your best advice, but we can't be upset. That's outside of our reasoned choice. Natural disasters. I think in Florida, I was waiting on a multi-millionaire in the restaurant the other day, and heard a story about how some hurricane in Florida wiped out everything was there, but his garage was empty, and his brand new Rolls Royce was just like gone. And eventually was found. Somebody had a boat to his property, and eventually the Rolls Royce was found like down the street. And I just think, like, how would I react in that situation? You can't control natural disasters. You can't control the weather. Is it possible to not be upset by that? That's a good test. When people die, that's outside of our reasoned choice. When we die, that's outside of our reasoned choice. Memento mori, which is a Stoic philosophy that means you will die. Remember that you will die. So all of this time is scarce, and the time is fleeting, and that we need to make the most of it. Your privilege or your lack thereof. I was certainly born with some sort of privilege, right? Not the greatest privilege, not the silver spoon. Could have been worse. I know people who were born with much more privilege than me, and of course those many who were not. But we can't be upset by that, because that has nothing to do with us. That was not our choice. All we can do is respond with our actions and try to improve. The fact that change is inevitable, that cannot upset us. We cannot control that. And our mental and physical limitations and predispositions. We didn't sign up for that stuff. That stuff just happened. If we can be aware of the fact of the philosophy, of the Stoic philosophy, that we cannot upset us, that our body is in that much amount of pain, that we can't do this physically or can't do that physically or mentally. That's just how we were made. We can hopefully try to improve with exercise and diet and learning what we can, but our physical limitations and mental limitations are predisposed. So I try to think about that stuff a lot. And if you can overcome your laziness by finding your passion and by letting stuff roll off your back that you cannot control, I think you're going to be much more freer in the end. I hope this video finds you well. I hope you're breaking free. Let me know how you're doing, and I'll talk to you on the next video. Break free.